You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Well, mi gente, my comic book lovers out there, my creative thrill seekers. This is Al Mega. This is the Comic Crusaders podcast. And today I'm hyped, baby, hyped, because we have a legend in the house, baby. He is a mind-bending master of the graphic novel world, an award-winning slaying author with a wicked sense of wonder. You know him from Underwinter, Intersect, and all those DC and Marvel heavy hitters. But today, baby, we're going to be diving deep into the depths of his latest epic project from Mad Cave Studios. It is called Blue Palo Verde, baby. Yeah, I like it because all Latino sounding. I can't wait to dive in. So you better grab your creative juices, baby, because we're going to be exploring the mystery, the madness, and the magic with the big boss himself, the legend, Ray Fawkes, baby. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What an intro.
Hey, you're a boss, bro. I mean, shit. You're feeling like, yeah, I did that. That's right, because you're doing that. Thank you for being such an amazing and wonderful creator. Definitely, anyone that's watched this, I've definitely touched at least one of your books at one point in time in their collectability, reading, for sure. I mean, ever since you hit the scene, you hit that shit running. So I can't wait to kind of really find out, how the hell happened. But first of all, it's the most important question you ever have in your life, bro. All right? Other than, of course, where you're from originally, but we need to know, what was the first thing that you ever fell in love with in all of fandom?
In all of fandom? Oh, man. Well, I remember it. I was a little kid. I was in the library and I picked up the original Secret Wars in the 80s. There was the library had it here, and I went straight out to the store, bought my own copy. It was the cover. I think this is gonna test my memory here. I think it was the third issue where the Hulk was holding up an entire mountain.
Yeah.
And all the heroes were under it. And I remember I looked at that, I started reading it, and it just totally blew my mind. I loved it.
You're like, how the hell can someone hold up a mountain, right?
Yeah.
I love that. Awesome. And where did you found that? What was your foundation? Where were you born at? Where were you from?
I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Okay. Canada. I'm sorry for the bullshit that our people are doing to you out there. Ignore it.
Sure. I'm sure it's not you doing it.
Nonsense, I mean, again, it's just, I hate the politics of it, but sometimes some people take it so serious and take it out on people that have nothing to do with it. So I'm just trying to tell you is like, listen, I ain't with that nonsense. All I want is the whole world to be fed, to be well, and to be happy. And we're gonna unite when the aliens come. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that. Yeah, no, in Toronto, when I was growing up, there was a lot of great comic shops and a lot of great, cool. And also, I'm old enough that the comics were everywhere. They were in all the grocery stores and variety stores and stuff. So I used to see them all over the place, and when I was a kid, I fell in love with Spider-Man and X-Men and Batman, and
was it through comic books that you fell in love with Spidey, or was it like you found them through a different medium and then happened to find the comics?
Oh, it was comics. It was comics for sure.
Oh, dope. Yeah. Cool. So were early on? I mean, you sound like you had a tribe out there. Like it was like a big poppin' nerd city. Like, did you have a tribe of fellow geeks growing up?
Yeah, totally. When I was in high school, nice. There was a whole bunch of us who would hit the shop like every week.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, you were lucky, man. Listen, how many kids got that shit in the 90s? In New York, for example, me growing up in the 90s, listen, me and one of my boys, we happened to go to the same high school. It's like, yo, it's Wednesday. I said, I know. We meet here, and then we go over there. Like, had to be a secret, because we have our baggy pants, our Timberlands, our Go Fronts. We look like gangsters, and here we are reading comic books.
Yeah.
It wasn't the right shit to talk about. You know what I mean? I dig it. I mean, Wu
Yeah.
Tang made it safe with Ghostface Killer calling himself Tony Stark. You know, we know who that was, right? You have met the man calling himself Johnny Blaze. We know who that was. You know, so like, come on, man. We have comic geeks in the culture. They just, trying to tease. Dig it, dig it.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So let me ask here, brother, because you have rocked so many worlds, bro, with your graphic novels, your comics, and all. What's that secret sauce that keeps your creativity flowing like a cosmic river?
Oh man, it's just like everything you see about you, everything in life, man. You look at it and you want to talk about it. You want to talk to the world, and you find ways to do it. And if the right place to do it is a Batman book or a book on your own or whatever, you find your voice and you just that's how I put it out. Some people do it with music, some people do it with painting, whatever. For me, it's comic books. It's always been comic books.
You deal with words and the sequential art behind it. I dig it. I
Mm.
dig it, baby. Now, from the eerie beauty of Underwinter to the gut punch of Intersect, if you will, how has your storytelling evolved leading up to this wonderful new book, Blue Palo Verde?
Uh, you know, it's one of those funny things, man. Like it's the same thing as like when you're getting older, but you feel like you're always 25. You know what I mean? It's like
I'm
I
50. I still feel like I'm 25. Heck yeah, bro.
exactly. Yeah. So like it's the same thing. Like when I look at my stuff, yeah, if I go back and read it, I can see how it evolved, like the language or the way that I told stories. But to me, it feels like it's all still me having the same conversation, just a different way.
Dig it, dig it, dig it. So let's talk that Blue Palo Verde. I like saying it 'cause it's again, it's not
Mm.
Latino. It's yo. What's the first aha moment when this project was sparked to life in the Foxverse?
Yeah, it's I was watching I love movies too, and I was watching some folk horror movies with my friends. We were watching The Wicker Man again, and I was watching
Okay.
Midsummer,
Wait,
and
which Wicker Man? The OG or the remake?
the original, of
Okay,
course,
okay.
the
I said,
original.
of course. How dare
Uh,
you say remake, right?
but I was thinking, I really love folk horror stories. I really love the sort of like weird, off in the country, little cult kind of stories. And I realized in my memory, maybe I'm wrong, somebody can tell me, but in my memory, there's never been one set in the Southwest US, right? So I decided I wanted to write one in the desert. I wanted to put one in like New Mexico, Arizona, and take it from there.
You don't hear many of those stories from there. Absolutely not. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not very common. Everybody wants to hear the big cities or the known
Yeah,
states. But they
yeah,
definitely do that. Yeah, I get you. I like that. Very very cool on you to even attempt that. So
yeah.
so bro, your stories have this magic of making horror feel beautiful and beauty feel horrifying. How
Mm.
has
Mm.
that duality shaped this new project?
It's definitely a big part of it, man. Like the setting, the monster that it's in this, which I don't want to give too much away about, but both of them are probably the most beautiful thing about the story, and it's kind of this place that's in the middle of the desert that's very stark, and then all of a sudden this character rolls into this town that's just like absolutely gorgeous, and there's horrible things happening there, but it's all under the surface, and everything looks um, beautiful, even when it's strange. To me, like um, there could be some great horror stories out there where even the frightening stuff or even the gory stuff can be weirdly beautiful. When you talk about movies like Alien or the Cronenberg movies, and I always believe that or David Lynch, and I always believe that the sort of the marriage of the beauty and horror is it's like life. It's what actual life is like.
Thank you for mentioning Cronenberg. He's like the king of body horror.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, and like and then you seeing what that movie that came out recently. What was it with? What was it? Nick Kidman more? Did he-
Oh, I mean the substance, yeah.
Yeah, the substance. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Talk
Yeah.
about body horror. Holy smokes, bro. Fire shit, bro. I was digging it. All right, so let me ask you. So you've explored the dark, the soulful, and the surreal. Where does Blue Palo Verde land in that spectrum in your mind?
I would definitely say sort of on the spiritual and the surreal kind of side of
Ooh,
things. You
ooh.
know, it's almost like a dream about faith and promises and you know, guilt and violence, but you know, wrapped up in a beautiful garden.
Oh my God! Because the name Palo Verde, Blue Palo Verde itself has a poetic ring, right? That's what I say.
Mm.
I like saying it. It does. It just rolls. Is there a personal connection, or is just a wild stroke of inspiration?
Well, it was, I wanted to, you know, center part of the story around a plant that's native to the southwestern desert, you know, and the Palo Verde tree is a very big thing there. It has really gorgeous flowers, and the more I was working on the story, the more the Palo Verde plants really seemed to embody part of what I was talking about. So it became central. It had to be the title.
So, listen, I'm about to bring this baby up to the stage because we're talking about the beauty of the book, man. You know, and I love the story behind the Promancers. So, the first Promance I want to know about is Mad Cave Studios, baby. I love this company. How did this partnership come about, and what's the vibe like working with those creative cats right there? No pun
Oh
intended.
man, you know, they're great. Like Mad Cave, I started to work with them a little over a year ago when I did a book for them called Sanction, which
Oh
was
yeah,
a
great book too, by the way. Fuck yeah, bro.
yeah, yeah,
Boss.
yeah, like the murder mystery in the Soviet Union, and you know, I just had such a that was sort of my first piece with them, and I had such a great time with it. They were so like um, they were not a company that wants to slow down your creativity. You know, they really loved getting me to dig my teeth into the concept and the atmosphere and everything. And I just had such a good time with them that as soon as I was done working on that book, I said, let's start talking about the next one. And that's how Blue Palo Verde happened.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, let's talk about this. I mean, talk about then the romance of that creative team that you have behind you, baby. Because again, bro, look at this beautiful cover. This the colors effing popping. When you spoke about a garden, that shit was not even a pun. Look at this.
Mm. Oh yeah, yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah. Well,
I'm digging it.
you know, I've got you know, Rimanti doing the art and Rifan who does the colors. The two of them just blew me away with this. You know, it's easy for me to write like, oh, and you know, the characters are in like a garden full of flowers, right? I can write that. But when they, you know, put the art down on the page and it's just so lush and so like overwhelmingly pretty, like I'm super happy with it.
I dig it, man. I dig it. And so, how did you meet them? Did you meet them through Mad Cave? Did you know them prior? What's the story of the professional, the promance again? I could call it.
Yeah, yeah. Mad Cave brought us together. This was kind of a thing where I brought the concept to Mad Cave, and they started sort of casting around for artists, and we talked about a bunch of them, but Ramonti was my first choice. You know, so
So, what was it about Rimanti specifically when you saw his art or their art? Let me
well,
just.
they it was the thing of like I said, like you know, the characters were very lively, they were really popping, but you know, a lot of artists can sell me on a character's emotion, right? But the super lush kind of detail that Ramonti brought to the page is really what sold me on it, since so much of this story is about a garden, basically.
Oh, okay, okay, dig it. I dig it, man. I love gardening. Are you gonna terrify me from trying to not have plants now, bro? Don't do this to me, bro. Oof.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Leave me that follow me. What was the one? What was it? That M Night Shyamalan movie, The Happening.
The
That's
Happening. Yeah, that's right.
a little bit. I listen. I don't know why people talk shit about that movie, but I think that movie is pretty dope. The concept of nature hitting back on you. You don't know what the fuck it is, but it's nature.
Mm, mm,
That shit is scary. And then
yeah.
it says, okay. It gave you the Thanos snap, but yet without y'all even knowing in this movie.
I hear you.
Right? That's what I think. And then look at this cover. Oh, goddamn. Gorgeous artistry. Who did this one?
Oh, this is Marguerite Sauvage, and it's just amazing.
Oh, monstrous, bro. Fuck.
Yeah.
Look at that. I love the line work. Everything popped up. And again, this is definitely eye candy on the shelf that I want to make people want to pick it up. Now let's get some of these interiors. Again, look at that panel work. Look at that coloring. Look who's your letterer too, because again, they do great work too, man. Can we not?
Yeah, gorgeous work with the lettering. Oh man, you know when you have something on the tip of your tongue. Sorry, I can't recall the name right now.
We love you anyway. Apologies.
Yeah.
All right. Again, if I had an assistant, I'd look it up. But you know, I'm
That's the beautiful. I feel bad. I should look it up.
So how was it you receiving these pages like this? So again, seeing your story being built.
Well, you know what could be better, man? Like every day I get a new page, or every couple of days I get a new page in the mail or in the email, and it's always fantastic. You know, like I'm dreaming this stuff up, and then to see somebody, make it come to life is just one of the best feelings there is in this business.
So how do you approach that collaborative process with those artists then that are bringing your scripts to life? Again, are they near you? Is this internet based? And it was internet communicate?
No, it's all internet based, but I let them run pretty wild with it. I'm not someone who like steps on an artist. I love to see what they do. Especially because, I'm so used to, there's some of my creator owned books that I do myself. So I know the feeling of like, you look at a script and you want to bring it to life, but the more things you have to worry about, the harder it is to do. So I kind of let them go nuts, and if something needs to be corrected, we deal with it, but usually it doesn't happen. Usually they do really great work.
Well, listen, thank you. I've had the pleasure of reading issue number 1 ahead of the June 11 release. That's right, baby, dropping June 11. And let me tell you, this book is bomb. And it definitely gets you curious as to what the effort. It feels like an old school 80s horror movie. This first issue starts setting up such an aura, like to this place and the characters. Okay, the fuck's going on? And it's very 80s. I kind of like that a lot,
Yeah.
For me. Yeah. I don't know if that was an intention on purpose or what. For me,
yeah, totally. Like a lot of the stuff I like, especially in horror, there's kind of a slower start, a little bit of a build up, because they take their time to let you feel what the world feels like.
That's why those movies were good, folks, in the 80s. The horror movies. That's why.
And so, I mean, I do that all the time in my books. I always want to let the beginning of the story breathe a little bit before shit cuts loose. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, bro. So this shit will hit the fan. All right. I know there's only issue number 1, and there definitely was a lot of build up and curiosity and learning who these characters are. So if you don't mind, can you introduce us a little bit to the characters? Because again, we've seen this young lady here in the tank top a couple of times. Who is she?
So our main character, our protagonist in the story, is named Christine, and she starts the story on the day she's released from jail. And she is looking for her father, who has moved from one town to another. So he's in a strange place. She's not used to where she's going. And, right away, the sheriff in the town, who you see on this page here too, he clocks her as an ex-con. And she is trying to navigate coming back into the world.
Have you been stopped by cops before? Have you been stopped by a cop before?
Yeah.
Okay, great, because you really captured that shit. I felt it, because I've been stopped many times. I was like, this mother effort.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And, she's trying to figure out, like, how to come back to the world, and she's got all these feelings of, like, guilt over what she did and lost time over being in prison, and she comes back into this weird situation.
Oh yeah, a lot of things weird, and again, even her plight of what she's going through, what she's particularly looking for. There's a weirdness behind that in itself. I mean, why wouldn't anyway. But again, you got to read this book, folks. I'm just telling you because I want to give it away, but it's definitely very much intriguing, and these are the type of comic book stories I like. That yeah, build this world for me and let me care. Give me a reason, and yeah. This first issue definitely lays that out, I think, wonderfully, Ray. Again, so again, it goes to show your legendary status. Again, you know how to build worlds. You know what I mean? So, you know, do you enjoy doing that? Is that one of your favorite parts? Is building worlds, for example?
Yeah, man, I love it. I love it. You know, and to me, like, you know, when you start to think of a story and you think about what you want it to be about, you build the whole world to fit the story, right? You make the whole world to bring your point across. And like, so every panel, every thing in your world is actually all about what you're talking about. And it's definitely one of my favorite things, man.
So let me ask: was there a war moment, a big old whoa, when the art and story clicked together like a puzzle pieces of the soul, and you went, "Holy shit, I'm
Yeah,
elevated."
yeah, totally. Actually, at the end of the first issue, something happens with some of the flowers. Something weird happens, and as soon as I saw that page, I was like, "This is gonna work. This is
He said,
good."
"Oh my effing god, I love you guys."
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it. So every great project has a message, sometimes hidden within the madness. You know, what's kind of the heartbeat, if you will, of Blue Palo Verde?
Really, the heartbeat of this book is about community, you know, and it's about like what do each of us owe to each other, and what do each of us owe to the community we're in, you know, and that's you know that's why our story starts with our characters seeking out her father, and that's why it starts with her finding herself in a very tight knit community that doesn't know her, and you know she's gonna have to come face to face with what her obligations are to her family and to her community.
Let me tell you, man, I really, the book resonated with me in that scene when the cop confronted her because, you know, I'm a New Yorker that was in Florida that moved back to Mass after
Mm.
some time. I'm in a small town and I've had that confrontation.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's why I felt that shit. I was like, "You mother effer." That's why I needed to ask you. You got started because you really, I really believe you captured that shit proper. You know, it gave me a flashback. Hold on, let me stop reading for a moment. I need a cigarette, motherfucker. All right. So every well, for the horror base heads, if you will, and the dreamers, what can fans expect to feel when they crack open this book? Besides smelling the ink and seeing this beautiful artwork.
Well, what I'm hoping they're gonna feel is that sort of creeping sense of like you're in a beautiful place where everything seems good, but you know there's something wrong in there that's like hooking into you. And like the more you go, the more it pulls until you realize what it is. And it's, you know, obviously, hopefully way worse than you were imagining.
Oh my God, my man Ray's on the hook y'all like a fish. You see, he a fisherman over here. You should have wore your fisherman's outfit. That's what you should do in the next part of you do.
Okay, next time. Yeah.
You're reeling them in, baby. I'm telling you, this is the wonderful book. This is the book we want. Now, how does it feel to be at the stage of your career where you're still evolving and then even surprising even your own fans continually?
Uh, I don't know how to do it any other way. Uh,
Hey, hey, boss level, does it so hey, wepa. That's the way.
no, seriously though, like I don't like I change things up because you know I don't want to be repeating myself, but also because I'm doing with whatever is interesting me and making me want to talk, right? So yeah, things are constantly changing, and if people are surprised, if people don't know what to expect next, that's fine. It keeps them excited.
Excellent, excellent. Exactly, man. That's also the key to survival in marriage, apparently, too. All right. So the last one for those future gazers here, you know, not really the last one, but at least related to the comic. What's next on the horizon for Ray Fawkes after Blue Palo Verde? Because I mean,
uh, yeah,
we're getting number one. So how many issues here, and then what we getting after?
All right. Well, we're getting 5 issues of this.
Oh, nice.
Actually, after that, I think Mad Cave has announced it now. But I'm doing an ongoing series of the Phantom for Mad Cave.
Oh, yes,
So,
yes. We heard that. Congrats on that iconic
yeah,
IP, Ray. I mean, were you
yeah,
growing up with that bad boy too?
yeah. I was actually, yeah, because
Oh man.
there was a movie in the '90s that I saw, and that led me to going to the store and reading some of the old comics. Yeah, I love the Phantom. Great classic adventure. So that's what's
Excellent.
next.
Excellent. So, did you land it or ask for it?
Um, well, I mean, once I knew they were doing it, I asked for it,
You
right?
said, "Give me that. That's mine." You sound like
Yeah,
David
well,
Rose when Captain Planet came out. He said, "I want that. That's for me."
yeah. I had to pitch on it and everything, but yeah,
Of
it worked
course.
out.
Well, excellent. I'm happy for you on that, yo. That's fantastic, man. I dig it, man. I mean, you touching that shit is insane. Now we're also in convention season, baby. It's just
Yeah.
warming up, baby. We're here in summer. Like, what's popping in your convention schedule? Can we see you pick up some books, get your signature, have a handshake? What's popping?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be at the San Diego Comic-Con in July.
See you there. I'll
And
be there.
yeah. And beyond that, I'm not too sure. We're gonna see. It's been a year more writing than conventions, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, you're building up that arsenal of yours, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So is that the advice you give those folks out there? Keep working, work hard at your craft. I mean, what would you tell those youngins out there want to building up their arsenal and of skills?
All the time. Just be writing all the time, or be drawing, whatever side of it is. If you can do both, great. But start and finish your projects and keep them going all the time. Don't wait for a publisher to say that we'll pick you up and we'll sell your stuff. Do it yourself. Put it out on the net. Put it out in zines, whatever, and just never stop.
I dig that. Now, Ray, is there anything you ever worked on that you would love to see it in either an animated or film form?
Um, you know, I would love to see a lot of my books, in a film or something like that, because it would be cool to see and it might bring more people to the books. But I actually love them as comics. Comics is how I think of them.
Hey, there we go. Look at my man just giving you the realness. It's all about that paper, smell that ink, buying
Yeah,
them. My Wednesday Warriors, baby. Let's
yeah,
go. I dig it. Now, are you a collector yourself?
yeah,
So
definitely.
what's the gem in your collection?
The gem in my collection. I still have, I was buying them when they were in the stores. I still have the original issues of the Alan Moore Swamp Things.
Oh, those
Right.
are great. Those are
Yeah,
great.
and that's my
Man.
number one. That's the stuff that I keep, hidden away from the sunlight.
I dig it. Yeah, man. I got my Christ Star, my Transformers, G.I. Joe, OGs. Those were things that I grew up with. But of course, then Conan and Spawn.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Things going on. I dig it. But folks, this is what we gotta do here. You gotta follow my man Ray on social media. That's Blue Sky right there at Fawkes. That's FAWKES.Ray. Now, Blue Palo Verde. That's right, baby. Arrives in comic shops on June 11th, featuring cover A by Rimanti, cover B by Marguerite Sauvage. All right. And it's available now for pre-order. But again, it drops on the 11th. So make sure you go to your local comic shop and just put it on your pull list. It's going to be a 5-issue series, as you heard. It's going to be popping. And of course, you get all the latest news on Mad Cave on social media or visit madcavestudios.com to check out the full lineup of new releases, licenses, and celebrated creator-owned titles, baby. That's what we're doing here. This is the Comic Crusaders podcast. I'm Al Mega with the amazing Uber legend, Ray Fawkes, man. I mean, you better check out this book, man. Again, look at that name, Blue Palo Verde, baby. Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm definitely putting this in my pool. This is Omega. It's RF. This is the Comic Crusaders. Thank you, for Crusaders, for tuning in. I see ya. Y'all all creeping. I don't even saying hello. I hope next time y'all say hi. Don't be shy, man. I mean, Ray was waiting for some questions, man. Come on now. Let's make it happen. But with that, for real, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Much love. Hasta la próxima, man. Wepa! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.